How Iran disables Starlink. At first, it sounded impossible. A country cutting off space. Elon Musk's Starlink, a satellite internet system designed to bypass governments, suddenly stopped working across large parts of Iran. Social media exploded. Iran destroyed Starlink. Elon Musk loses billions. Satellite internet is no longer unstoppable. But what actually happened? Did Iran really defeat Starlink? And what does this mean for the future of global internet freedom? Tonight, we decode how Iran managed to cripple one of the most advanced satellite networks on Earth without firing a single missile. When protests intensified inside Iran, the government did what it has done before. It shut down the internet. Mobile networks slowed, websites disappeared, social media went dark. But this time, something was different. People weren't fully disconnected. Starlink terminals, smuggled into the country, were still transmitting signals straight to space, bypassing Iran's infrastructure completely. For the first time, a government blackout was being challenged from orbit. And that's when Iran responded. Starlink doesn't work like traditional internet. There are no cables to cut, no cell towers to shut down, no central switches to flip. Each Starlink terminal talks directly to satellites flying overhead at thousands of kilometers per hour. On paper, that makes Starlink almost censorship-proof. But almost is the key word, because Starlink still relies on radio signals, and radio signals can be attacked. Iran didn't destroy Starlink satellites. Instead, it targeted the weakest point in the system, the signal. Using military-grade electronic warfare equipment, Iran began flooding Starlink frequencies with powerful interference. This is called jamming. The satellites were still there. The terminals were still powered on, but the connection between them became unstable, slow, and in many areas unusable. It wasn't space warfare, it was signal warfare. Within days, reports started coming in, connections dropping, terminals overheating, data speeds collapsing. In some regions, Starlink traffic fell dramatically, not to zero, but enough to break its usefulness during live protests. This wasn't a coincidence. It was a coordinated electronic counterattack, and it worked. So why was this such a big moment? Because Starlink was supposed to be the ultimate tool against censorship. Ukraine had used it during war. Remote regions used it for emergency access. Activists saw it as digital freedom from space. Iran proved something uncomfortable. Even satellite internet is not invincible. If a government is willing to invest in electronic warfare, it can still fight back. Did Elon Musk lose billions? No confirmed data shows massive financial losses tied to Iran alone. Starlink terminals inside Iran were already unofficial. They weren't generating large revenue. But the real loss wasn't money, it was perception. For the first time, a government showed that Starlink could be contained, not everywhere, but somewhere. And that changes the global conversation. This isn't just about Iran. Other governments are watching closely. If Starlink can be jammed in Iran, it can be challenged elsewhere. China, Russia, North Korea, even advanced Western states. The future of the internet may no longer be about cables versus satellites. It may be about who controls the electromagnetic battlefield. Iran didn't destroy Starlink, but it cracked the myth. The myth that space equals freedom. The myth that technology always beats the state. What comes next is a silent arms race between satellite networks and governments that refuse to lose control. The real question isn't whether Starlink survived Iran. The real question is, if space isn't safe anymore, where does digital freedom go next? If you want a follow-up video, how Starlink jamming actually works, which countries can realistically copy Iran's method, or why satellite internet may still win long-term, comment below. Subscribe for decoded geopolitics and tech power stories.